Hi, how's it going? This is the CAD A77 microphone. It's not the cheapest or best mic, but it does have a trick up its sleeve that you may find compelling. The A77 is a large diaphragm, supercardioid dynamic microphone, and I have here the gold version for that little bit of extra bling. Right after I picked this mic up, it was listed as discontinued in multiple places. Leave it to me to review a mic you can't get anymore. It has since changed back to showing in stock, so it is available at least for now. The build quality isn't bad, but it's nothing exceptional. The gold color is just paint over what I'm fairly confident is a cast zinc body. It isn't actually made out of brass or anything. There are a couple spots where the shape of the mic clearly shadowed the spray paint, and you can see that the paint is clearly thinner and the gray underneath is showing through a little bit. Overall, though, it's fine, but the fit and finish isn't anything super special. It has a standard 5/8 inch mounting thread, and it didn't come with a 5/8 to 3/8 inch thread adapter. So that's the mic. Let's take a listen. Now I'm recording with the A77 microphone on a desktop mic stand, and this is a standard dynamic microphone, so it doesn't require phantom power. And here's the trick of this microphone. Okay, it's not really a trick, but it is an uncommon spec that could be beneficial to some. This is the most sensitive dynamic mic I have ever used. For comparison, the notoriously insensitive Shure SM7B has a spec of -59 dBV or 1.12 millivolts per Pascal. A typical handheld dynamic mic might have specs more along the lines of -52 dBV or 1.8 millivolts per Pascal. A sensitive handheld dynamic mic might be more along the lines of -51 dBV or 2.8 millivolts per Pascal. The A77 microphone has a sensitivity of -48 dBV and 3.56 millivolts per Pascal. That might not seem like a huge jump, but it's pretty significant when you're talking about levels this low to begin with. It's still not as sensitive as most condenser mics, but it's a lot more sensitive than most broadcast dynamic mics. But it's still a dynamic mic, so it doesn't require phantom power, and it won't stress a less than stellar preamp. So if you like the sound, it might be a good option for some situations. Want to see how unstressed a preamp is by this microphone? Now I'm recording directly into a tiny Tascam DR10L recorder with the A77. It isn't perfect, there is some background hiss, but I'd argue it's very usable, and you can see I'm getting pretty decent levels, even though I have the gain set to medium, which is where I would normally have it for a standard lavalier mic recording into this recorder. And the DR10L isn't exactly known for having the best preamp, but you can see, still totally usable with this dynamic broadcast microphone. And just for comparison, now I'm recording into the DR10L with a Rode pod mic. I've had to turn the gain up a notch, and I may even have to boost the audio a bit more in post to match the levels, and I'm sure you can hear the difference in background hiss. It's not a night and day difference, but the pod mic is simply less sensitive, so there's not as big of a gap between the signal and the noise. As for sound, everyone has their own preferences and listens on different equipment, and every voice is different, so the A77 may or may not have the sound you're looking for. So I'm now recording with the A77 and the Rode pod mic. I'll switch back and forth so you can compare the sound. The normal price for the pod mic is actually less than the A77, but I did get the A77 on sale for less than the pod mic. So if you're interested, watch for sales and you may get lucky. The fit and finish of the pod mic is a bit nicer. It's also a bit heavier, which isn't necessarily good or bad, it just is. And the pod mic is obviously just one of many potential alternatives, but hopefully this comparison gives you an idea of how the A77 sounds in comparison to at least one popular alternative. The A77 is a supercardioid microphone, so it should reject sounds off-axis pretty well. However, supercardioid microphones also tend to have a bit of extra sensitivity directly from the back, so let's check that as well. Right now I'm obviously talking pretty much directly into the front of the mic, so let's start turning it. And I'm going to begin turning it. I'm now at about 90 degrees, talking directly towards the side of the microphone. Should be isolating pretty well. I'm going to keep turning it, and I think as you'll see right when I get towards the back, it's probably picking up a little bit better even than it was from the side. So I'll start turning it back, and then now we're back to about 90 degrees off axis, and then I'll just continue turning, and now I'm back to talking directly towards the front of the microphone. So that's how it rejects off-axis sounds. The A77 isn't particularly exciting in most respects. It sounds fine, it's built fine, and it's not the most expensive mic, though it's certainly not the best value either. But it is the most sensitive dynamic mic I've found. Well, other than dynamic mics that have a built-in preamp that require phantom power to run them, but that's kind of like cheating. So if you're looking for a dynamic mic and sensitivity is a concern for you, this mic could be worth consideration. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.